demonstration that conservative people had that was maybe initiated or kind of put into play by people who were conservative about voter fraud. That's what I think about January 6th to answer your question. The next thing I want to add on this particular letter is that she said, you sound like you don't vote for women unless they have something for you. Let me explain something to you. I have no prejudice against women, blacks, whites, Hispanics, or anything like that. I don't care what gender you are, or what color you are, or what creed you are, or what religion you are. I am a conservative. If you are a black woman, then we are probably going to have different views, and I am not going to be for you. If you are a white liberal, I am not going to be for you. If you are a Hispanic liberal or an Hispanic socialist, I'm not going to be on your side. So stop putting the gender and race into the play that this is the reason why I am against you or don't like you. She continues in this sentence by saying, I don't like the way you are degrading Vice President Harris. What's wrong with change? What does Vice President Harris have to do with anything? I don't know her. I'm against her policies because she is a liberal. And that is why people who support her are against my policies, because I am conservative. It is not personal. It has nothing to do with gender. Has nothing to do with race. Has nothing to do where you from. We're both from California. So get that out of your head that it's something to do with race or gender. I don't like your policies no more than you like mine. You have a different philosophy as I have a different philosophy. So get that through your head. I understand that. It's nothing personal between Joe Biden, Barack Obama, or Kamala Harris. We just have different views. I don't wish anything bad upon you. We just don't agree on views when it comes to politics, conservatism, and liberalism. Then she continues on, what's wrong with change? Nothing is wrong with change, my ex-high school mate. Nothing at all. Because I was a liberal Democrat like you back in the day growing up in San Francisco. So guess what? I changed. I looked into why were we Democrats. I didn't know the fundamental reason. When my father explained to me, I just accepted it. But when I got older to be able to research and to look into what was what and what was not what, I was able to make a change because I was an adult. So there's your change. Nothing is wrong with change. So I changed from what I grew up as, but you haven't. So I answered your question. I just didn't answer it the way you wanted to. Then she says, I can't support a party that allows a racist man who degrades everyone and whose family is associated with the KKK representing me. What proof do you have of that? And what difference did it make to you that, in your words, a president whose family was associated with the KKK? So the time that President Donald Trump was in office, if the KKK, if you believe that to be, how did that change your life? Did you lose your life? Did any of your kids lose their lives, or any loved ones that you know lose their life? Did you lose any particular type of status or financial prowess due to the fact that a racist KKK member was in the White House? Give me a freaking break. You're overblowing this crap. Tell me about it. What's the difference? You're living the same way now in 2021 that you were in 2017. has nothing to do. All this crap and rhetoric about the KKK has nothing to do with it. The freaking KKK is done and over with. Your biggest freaking enemy is black people in the freaking hood, killing everybody, killing your own damn people. You ain't heard of a freaking white person killing anybody that you know in the last 35 years. So stop that. Then she goes on to say, there was a time when the voting ballots given were for your own party only. Well, I got news for you, my ex-high school mate. I'll tell you that. In the primaries, there still are the same. This is why you are ignorant to the fact of your own party and politics as a whole. If you are a Democrat or a Republican and you go into the primaries, if you are registered, whatever party you are registered on, and you're voting in the primary, you will be given, G-I-V-E-N, you will be given a ballot based on your party. Because in the primaries, Republicans are running against Republicans and Democrats are running against Democrats. And by the way, there are more to vote. There is much, much more to voting by who's running than who's running for president, governor, and anything like that. Mayor, city manager, all that kind of stuff. There are propositions and all that type of sort of things to go that you have not even mentioned in this letter. Then she says, vote for the person, not the party. This is further evidence when she says person that in her mind and in most liberal people mind and socialist people mind who are not privy to politics, that they believe and that they subconsciously believe that when it comes to voting, it is all about who's running for president or governor. They have nothing, they have no inkling to believe or even to decipher that there are propositions and other things on the ballot. Each proposition, let me just enlighten you on this in case I didn't know. There are propositions on each ballot. One is usually conservative and one is usually liberal. Trust me on that. So what is the point of you being liberal and then you're voting for conservative policies? Or what is the purpose of you being conservative and voting for liberal policies? So it does matter. Vote down the ticket that you are a part of or register or believe that you are a part of. Okay? It's not just about who's running for president. It's a whole lot that has more to do with your well-being than who's president. They have more of a direct effect on you, your city manager, your mayor, your school superintendent. Stop thinking that everything is about just who is president and stop using that term that he and she. There are other things to vote for when you go to the polls. Then she says, Trump did not do a thing for me. That is a calling card for socialists. Socialists believe that the government is first and foremost in doing something for them. That is the calling card of a socialist, Democrat, liberal. A capitalist, conservative, believes in paving their own way. We want less government, where the other side wants more government. We want government out of our lives so we can be able to do what we want to do with what we make. So she goes, Trump did not do a thing for me. What did you do for yourself, Miss Classmate? What did you do for yourself in the last 4 years? Do you expect Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to do something for you? Come on. This is how you guys think. So I'm going to try to be fair in reading this letter. The best and only great question or only good question I believe she asked in this letter is this. I wonder if you were less fortunate than you are now, how would you think? That is actually a great question. Of the whole letter she wrote, in my opinion, this is the only question that makes sense. Because I was once less fortunate. And in those less fortunate days, like I said earlier, I was under the umbrella of my parents. I did not have a choice in the type of political party or how I believe, nor did I understand. So therefore, I just went along for the ride. Okay? So how am I supposed to think? When I was poorer, because I'm still poor, it depends on, it's all relative. When I was less fortunate, of course, I thought the same way that most socialists think. I was thinking like, gosh, what is the government going to do for me? What is the president going to do for me? At that particular time, it was Nixon and Gerald Ford and all that type of stuff, Jimmy Carter. What are they going to do for me? They haven't done anything for me either. I had to pick my own self up from my bootstraps. That is another characteristic of being conservative. You do for yourself. Personal responsibility all the way around the board. So you take yourself and you make your own way best you can. You don't look for the government to do for you. We want government out of our lives because the more government is in our lives, the more say they have on taxes and all kind of other things that we don't want. So even though the next portion of the letter I will read to you, I already read before, I will read again. I just want to emphasize how much she mentions race. That is what liberals and socialists do. That is their calling card, is race. All they think about and all they mention is race. Race is something that they put in the forefront that is kind of like a barrier and an excuse for their shortcomings or what they believe are their shortcomings. So let me read this last part to you, which I've already read before, and let me emphasize the many times that she mentions race. This is quoting, this is the beginning of the quote. You have been reading the wrong stuff. America was a beautiful country before Trump, and now that he's gone, it will be as beautiful as ever. Love you, Kenneth, and best to your show in 2021. I will listen from time to time, but I will not subscribe. I don't believe what you preach, and I believe my thinking is better than yours. Trump is not for anyone unless you are white, and that is the truth. End of letter. Liberal socialists always preach race. They accuse conservatives of being racist. However, their whole plight is about color and racism. Us, them, they, white people, they don't like us, us and them. Everything is, you never hear conservatives speak that way, because if they did, they would be considered racist without a doubt. So it seems as though socialists can get away with it because they are deemed minority, and they have been oppressed for so long that they get carte blanche and a free hall pass to say and do those type of things. Trump is for white people. Are you serious? What if Trump said that Barack Obama is only for black people? This is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, the race card that socialists play in trying to deem conservatives as being racist. It's unbelievable. So let me go over something about being a conservative, a black conservative in the United States of America. We were all, at one point, liberal Democrats by default because our parents were. That is one thing that she said in the letter that made sense.